Time for some real talk now. As mass student protests continue in Jefferson County, Colorado, the school board there now reviewing its lessons to possibly bring back more discussion of individual rights and patriotism in their curriculum. But not everyone's happy about that, because some say our schools have become more liberal over time. Some say they haven't. Remember this example, though, out of Texas, where a parent was surprised to open his daughter's AP U.S. history textbook and find it had rewritten the Second Amendment? The textbook said, quote, "The people have a right to keep and bear arms in a state militia." However, the text of the actual Second Amendment reads, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." In another example, a D.C. school this year asked students to compare President George W. Bush to Hitler. Really? So now the school board in Jefferson County says they're reviewing how to make their classes, one in particular, AP History, more true to America's real history, producing mass student protest, allegedly sparked by the unions, but the students are vocal too.
I understand that they want to take out our very important history of slavery and dropping the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki because it portrays the U.S. in a negative light.
The censorship of U.S. history is wrong, and I think it's pretty communist.
Ken Wit is the president of Jeffco Board of Education, and he is my guest today. Great to see you, Mr. Wit. What are you trying to do to the curriculum for AP History in Jefferson County?
Well, to be clear, Gretchen, there's been no proposal in Jeffco to modify the curriculum in AP History. This discussion stemmed from a proposal in the last board meeting to sit a committee that would help us review curriculum. In Colorado, the Constitution places the responsibility for curriculum on the local school boards. So our board, like any other, needs to take a look at curriculum, make sure that we're reviewing it. The reason AP U.S. History came up at all in that discussion is that it's timely.
Okay.
AP U.S. History was very recently completely rewritten. The framework was substantially changed, and it's our responsibility to make certain that we're reviewing new curriculum and determining whether or not it's appropriate.
Okay, so I want to do kind of a lightning round with you of some of the accusations and changes and things that we just heard from some of the students and all over social media right now. So, are you trying to censor the education and the history of America?
Absolutely not. There has been no proposal to eliminate slavery or civil rights or any content from any course, including AP U.S. History, but only to review the curriculum.
So we heard from the female student that the board may actually not talk about U.S. slavery, make that decision to take it out of AP U.S. History. True or false?
False.
$40 million supposedly being cut from the budget. True or false?
Very false.
Okay.
Opposite direction.
Teachers are getting no pay increases. That is one of the accusations as well. What's the real story, Ken?
In the very meeting where the proposal for a curriculum review committee came out, the one action that the board actually took was to finalize a compensation plan that gave all of our effective teachers generous pay increases and our highly effective teachers even higher pay increases, including 450 effective teachers that would not have gotten a raise under the union-backed plan.
Okay. So we did this story last Thursday, and one of the things that I found difficult in watching these kids protest about was the patriotism aspect of it. That part of what might be proposed in some sort of a new curriculum would be to promote patriotism. Is that part of the curriculum? And if it is, what would be wrong with teaching that?
I can't answer what would be wrong with teaching patriotism. I think patriotism is certainly appropriate. However, again, there was no proposal to modify curriculum at all.
So how did these stories get out there that that's actually what's going on in Jefferson County?
Gretchen, that's a great question. And to be honest with you, we know that over the pay structure change, there is significant union opposition. We know that from the address of our state's head of the teachers union to the NEA, that they've brought in 48 operatives from other states into Jeffco to meet with teachers and to begin to organize and prepare for something. Breitbart reported that even a consultant has been brought in that specializes in organizing for protests and marches. This is not spontaneous. This is very planned, very organized, and heavily invested in.
We've been hearing from Ken Wit, the president of Jeffco Board of Education, about what's going on out there. Big controversy, big story. Ken, thanks so much for being on The Real Story today.
Thank you, Gretchen.